All right, the third part of this is going to be to create some text that makes it look 3D. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this up and I'm going to use the vertical type tool. And I'm actually going to click and I'm going to change the color of this text. You can choose any color you want, but I want to point something out. I've already selected the text tool, and if I click here and change the color of my text, notice that it doesn't change up here in the options, okay? And I just want to point that out, that once you have that text tool selected, you have to make the change up here or in your character panel. It doesn't change it here. And what I want to actually type is 3D and then make a capital Y. Now, for the 3D, you can make this any font you want as long as it is a thick font, such as Hobo Standard. By the way, STD stands for standard. The Y is going to be Webdings. So I'm going to click on Webdings. That turns that into a heart. Now, I'm going to increase the size of this just a little bit. Let's say 140 on mine anyway. That looks good. And I'm going to position it here. Now, the first thing that we have to do in order for us to do some effects on here, for this particular one, we have to change this so it's no longer a text layer. We know this is a text layer because it has a T. If I hold down my control key while I click on that, I get a pop-up menu that allows me to rasterize the type. This is now a regular layer. This is as if we've drawn a shape, and it cannot be edited for text anymore. Now, once I do that, I'm going to put on a bevel and emboss using the layer style. You can't see it very well right now, but I'm going to click OK. I'm using the default settings for that one. The next thing I want to do is go to the Edit menu and choose Transform. And I know you guys have used the free transform, but under Transform, you have other options. Notice this one that says Perspective. Click on it. If I click on this and I drag the left corner up, notice how just the left side gets bigger. I can even drag the right side down a little bit if I need to make it a little bit bigger. What that is doing is giving it perspective, the illusion of depth. The left side is bigger, so it looks like it's closer to me. The right side is smaller, so it looks like it's further away. As soon as I get the angle that I want, I'm just going to double click to apply my transformation. Now, the next part of this is really fairly easy. We want to make numerous copies of this and nudge it just a little bit so that it makes it look like it is 3D. I'm going to zoom in on this just to make this a little bit more obvious for you as you follow along. There we go. All right, now what I need to do is I need to select that layer. I'm going to hold down the Option key on your keyboard, and that is Option. And then I'm going to find the arrows on the right side of my keyboard. If I hold down the Option key and hit that right arrow, notice that it makes a duplicate copy here in the Layers panel, and it nudges it just a little bit. So I am going to keep doing that until I get the desired 3D look that I want. Now, you do have to be careful that you don't do too many, because if you do too many, it just looks messy and it doesn't look 3D. But on mine right here, I'm liking what it looks like right here on 20. I have 20 copies of this layer made. Now, obviously, if we want something to stick together, because if I stay on this layer, I could accidentally move one of them. Okay, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that top one. That's the top layer right there. And I'm going to scroll down in my layers panel till I find that first 3DY, and I'm going to hold my shift key down and click on it. By holding my shift key down, I am selecting everything in between. Now, with all of those selected, I am going to merge those layers together. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can either control click and pull up the drop down or pull up the pull out menu that says merge layers, or right up here. All panels have this little options menu, and you can choose merge layers from there. And now they become merged into one layer, which is convenient because now if I want to put a drop shadow on it, and at the moment you probably can't see the drop shadow because our background is black, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a little distance, and actually I'm going to go ahead and change it to white for the moment so I can see it, or a light color rather, the size of it, the spread of it. Oh, and you know what? I probably should have done that actually before I merged. So that gives me the perfect opportunity to remind you of your history panel, where I can go back to that last nudge, and then I can go to the bottom 3DY. There we go, right there. Now I can add a drop shadow, and I'm going to choose white just for now so that we can see it happening. And it's not cooperating with me. Oh, there we go. That's because it's on normal. See, it's always important to check your blend modes. Change your blend mode to normal. If it's not there, you are going to have to, as I said, I did too many of these. You're going to have to bring it back down a little bit. I'll zoom back in. We just want a little drop shadow. Decide where you want your light source to be, okay? So right there, the light source is behind it. You can choose the size of it, the spread, the distance, the opacity, okay? And so I kind of like that. But now I'm actually going to change the color to black again, okay? And that's okay, because as I now merge these together again, we're going to be changing the background in the end. Whoops. No. I clicked the wrong thing. Merge layers. There we go. We're going to be putting them together with a different background here in the next video. Okay?